So the big September Nintendo Direct has finally come and gone, and it ended up being much more massive than I thought it would, as we got an hour-long Nintendo Direct with a lot of information. I thought it was a pretty good Direct, I enjoyed it, but one of the things that I really want to talk about it with this video is what they did with Pokemon, as I definitely found it to be pretty unusual. Now real quick before we get started, I just want to let you guys know that I am partnering with Walmart for the launch of Pokemon Legends ZA, where if you click from the links below in the description, you can pre-order Pokemon Legends ZA for the Nintendo Switch or even the Nintendo Switch 2 edition and end up supporting the channel, so I would really appreciate that. And Walmart's actually doing something amazing, which is anybody who pre-orders Pokemon Legends ZA from them is going to receive a starter pin for one of the starter Pokemon that appears inside of the game. So if you want a chance to get that awesome bonus as well, I would really appreciate it if you pre-order using the links below in the description. Alright, but moving into that Nintendo Direct, I thought that it was a pretty good Nintendo Direct, but there was one thing that really kind of caught me off guard, which was the content that they had for Pokemon, which I just found to be very surprising. Now, getting Pokemon news inside of a normal Nintendo Direct is not unheard of. It's actually happened many times in the past, with like Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon. They actually revealed brand new Ultra Beasts for the first time inside of a Nintendo Direct. We also had stuff with like Pokemon Sword and Shield, where I think they revealed the brand new Pokemon Cramorant inside of a Nintendo Direct as well, and also like trainer customization and news about the games. So that's happened in the past, and obviously this time we've got Pokemon Legends ZA, which is going to be the next brand new main game that's coming out, so it makes sense to get some type of news. We've even seen that earlier where like we had like the March Direct that happened at the beginning of the year, and even that revealed like the ZA Battle Royale where you could do like battles at night and battle other trainers and stuff. So getting news for that was something that I feel like was a pretty reasonable expectation, and we did get that for Pokemon Legends ZA with the brand new Mega Evolutions for the Kalos starters. Now personally, I really do love all of these Kalos starter Mega Evolutions. I don't know about you guys, but like for me, I've always never really liked Delphox all that much just on its own, but I actually think Delphox's Mega Evolution looks super cool. Like, I love the colors, I love how it looks and everything, so I think they actually did a really amazing job with all of these Mega Evolutions. I'm a big fan of them, so that was definitely some type of news that I feel like was to be expected, and some people were definitely thinking like, yeah, getting some type of Mega Evolution revealed, that makes sense. What nobody was expecting though was the reveal of a brand new Pokemon spin-off game for the Nintendo Switch 2. So they announced a brand new Pokemon game where it looks like you're kind of playing as Ditto, but this Ditto is able to turn into human characters and it's able to like replicate abilities from other Pokemon, but it's called Pokemon Pokopia. So essentially it's kind of like a life sim, Animal Crossing type of Pokemon game where it's going to be very cozy and chill and casual, and you just play as this Ditto that can take abilities from other Pokemon. Like you can take an ability from Bulbasaur to be able to plant grass, and then you can take an ability from Squirtle to be able to water plants, and then Charmander to like burn down stuff. And I'm guessing like other Pokemon are going to be there too because we see a lot of them throughout the trailer. But it just seems like a really kind of chill and cozy type of Animal Crossing game where you're just going to be trying to expand like your area and making like new kind of gardens and stuff and just making like the entire area to look really pretty. It seems like a pretty chill game, and I could definitely see a lot of people just kind of casually having fun with it, but it was definitely not any type of announcement that I expected to see inside of a Nintendo Direct. But this wasn't even the craziest thing, as the very last Pokemon related announcement they had was an entire paid DLC for Pokemon Legends ZA called Pokemon Mega Dimension. And they teased it by showing two Mega Evolutions for Raichu with Raichu X and Raichu Y. Now, I did see a lot of people complaining about how they're announcing DLC for a game before it's even out, and this is actually not something that's new, as Nintendo has even done this for a lot of their games numerous times in the past. With like The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, they announced the DLC for that game before that came out. They've also done it with like Xenoblade Chronicles 3, where they announced the expansion pass for that game inside of the Direct for it, where they were going to be saying that there was going to be like story content coming and bonuses that you would get day one if you pre-order the expansion pass. They've even done it for like Fire Emblem with Fire Emblem Engage. They announced that I think at the Game Awards, where there was going to be DLC coming for that game, and you got additional emblems from Fire Emblem Three Houses with the lords inside of Engage. So they've done that for games in the past, so having Pokemon DLC get announced before the game comes out isn't something that's never been done before. But what I really want to talk about is what this could imply for Pokemon moving forward, because the stuff we got with like the Kalos Megas, that was just news about the next new Pokemon game, that's to be expected. But getting a Pokemon spin-off as well as DLC announced, these are both announcements that could very easily be inside of a Pokemon Presents. And that's pretty much what we've gotten used to when we get new Pokemon related announcements, is that the Pokemon Company likes doing their own thing. They have their own dedicated events where they have big news for events and things like this that come out. So why would they reveal these types of things inside of a normal Nintendo Direct? And it actually gets more interesting, where if we take a look at the page for the Legend ZA DLC, it mentions that the DLC is going to be available by February 28th, 2026, and that's right before Pokemon Day next year. Now, it's possible that the next time that we get news for Pokemon Pokopia as well as the Legend ZA DLC won't be until the Pokemon Presents that happens on Pokemon Day next year in February 2026, but the fact that they announce all of this stuff, to me, it seems like they actually want a lot of the attention to be focused on what else is going to be there inside of that Pokemon Presents. And so I actually don't think that they're going to make us wait all the way until February 2026 for the Pokemon Presents that happens on Pokemon Day to get more information about this Legend ZA DLC, having it drop like maybe after that presentation is over, or even just sometime around there. I think it's actually going to be available before then. It might even be around like Christmas time this year, because the game is coming out in October, so maybe right by Christmas they're going to have like the DLC available, or it could be like early January, because from the way that they're kind of announcing it early too, it seems to me like they're probably working on it and they might already kind of have it kind of close to completion, so that they can just have all of that out of the way, and that way they can have more stuff that they're going to focus on inside of that Pokemon Presents next year. Because the Pokemon Presents that's going to happen next year on Pokemon Day in February 2026 is going to be for the celebration of Pokemon's 30th anniversary, and it's going to be a monumental milestone. And because of that, I think it just makes perfect sense, everybody's expecting it, that in terms of video games, the big announcement next year is going to be the Generation 10 Pokemon games, an all new generation after Scarlet and Violet. It is going to be 4 more years since then, because those were 2022, and so I think it just makes a lot of sense having those big games coming out exclusively on the Switch 2. That's going to sell a lot of those systems. It just makes a lot of sense to have that be like the big focus, and maybe it's because of that that they don't want there to be like Pokemon Legends ZA DLC talk and stuff like that, because they really want the attention to be about the next generation, and that's why they're announcing all of this stuff beforehand. Same thing with like Pokemon Pokopia, because there might be other stuff with like games on the Switch 2 or spin-offs and things. We also have like Pokemon Champions, remember, so there's still other things that they need to talk about for that Pokemon Presents, and maybe that's why they decided to have those other announcements inside of this normal Nintendo Direct, so that the Pokemon Presents next year doesn't end up being like an entire 45-minute presentation. So yeah, it is a little bit unusual, but I do feel like it actually kind of means now that the Pokemon presentation that we're going to get when it actually happens next year in February is going to be a pretty big deal, and there's going to be a lot of cool stuff in there, and I think they just don't want to have other Pokemon announcements really kind of bloat everything, so they kind of had some of the announcements with like the DLC and the spin-off game inside of this normal Nintendo Direct. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, definitely be sure to click that like button and also subscribe to the channel as well. I'm definitely gonna have some more videos talking about Pokemon Legends ZA and more Pokemon stuff, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on that. Comment down below and let me know what you think about this. Are you excited for Pokemon Pokopia or this DLC for Legends ZA? Are you going to be getting any of them? Definitely be sure to comment down below and let me know. But if you don't have anything to say about it, just comment your favorite emoji down below for some engagement. I would really appreciate it. Go follow me on Twitter at @Aero so you can be featured in videos, and also join my Discord server as well. We've got a bunch of people in there who are always talking about Pokemon and Smash Bros and Nintendo, so definitely be sure to join that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching.